In 1938, a German archaeologist digging near Baghdad found something that made no sense. It was a simple clay jar, just a few inches tall. Inside was a copper cylinder, and within that, an iron rod. At first glance, it looked like a storage container. But when scientists tested it, it produced an electric charge. The artifact became known as the Baghdad Battery, and what it suggests could rewrite everything we think we know about ancient technology. This strange little jar is estimated to be over 2,000 years old. It dates back to the Parthian Empire, around 200 BCE. At the time, there was no known concept of electricity, no wires, no light bulbs, no power grids. And yet, here was an object that, when filled with vinegar or lemon juice, could produce volts. Small, yes, but unmistakably real electricity. So now we ask, why would ancient people build a battery if they had nothing to power? Theories quickly flooded in. Some scientists suggested it was used for electroplating, coating objects in thin layers of precious metals like gold or silver. That would mean these ancient engineers were using electric chemistry over 1,800 years before it was discovered by modern science. Others went further. Some believed the battery was used in religious rituals, that it gave priests the ability to deliver divine shocks during ceremonies, adding fear and mystery to their power. Imagine being an ancient worshiper and feeling a sudden zap from the priest's touch. You'd believe anything. And then came the extreme theories, that the Baghdad Battery was one small piece of a much larger lost technology, that ancient civilizations, Mesopotamian, Egyptian, even Indian, had access to electrical knowledge long before we give them credit, that these weren't isolated anomalies, but fragments of a forgotten science. But if that's true, the next question is even more important. What happened to that knowledge? Let's be honest. Mainstream history doesn't like anomalies. The Baghdad Battery is rarely mentioned in textbooks. Museums avoid putting it front and center. It's often dismissed as a coincidence, a misunderstanding, or a hoax. But the truth is, no one has ever offered a definitive explanation. And this artifact isn't alone. There's the Antikythera mechanism found in a shipwreck off Greece, an analog computer built over 2,000 years ago. It could predict solar eclipses and planetary movements. There are the strange reliefs in Egypt's Dendera temple, showing what looks suspiciously like light bulbs connected to cables. There are ancient Indian texts that describe flying machines, vimanas, that ran on mercury engines. And yet, all of these are treated as myths. Why? Because if even one of them is real, it would mean our timeline is wrong. It would mean that human beings once had knowledge, real, scientific, technological knowledge, that was lost, erased, or deliberately buried. Could ancient people have used electricity? Not like us. No iPhones or laptops, but maybe they lit their temples. Maybe they powered tools. Maybe they tapped into natural forces we haven't fully rediscovered. So what happened? Some say natural disasters wiped out early civilizations. Others suggest war or religious purges erased the keepers of ancient tech. And then there's the chilling idea that powerful groups throughout history have suppressed certain discoveries to control the narrative and the people. What if the Baghdad Battery wasn't the beginning of something, but the last surviving piece of something much bigger? An entire civilization's knowledge, reduced to a clay jar and a few corroded rods. This isn't just about electricity. It's about the possibility that we're not the pinnacle of human progress, that thousands of years ago, people may have known more than we do now. We love to say we're more advanced than ever, but what if we're just starting over? The Baghdad Battery is silent now, but its very existence is a question burning through time. Not just, how did they build it? But what else did they know that we've forgotten? Because history doesn't just repeat itself. Sometimes it hides itself.